And I tell you, in Ohio and Columbus, we are really blessed to have great neurologists that are good communicators. Trust me, I've been around the country, and it's often death by PowerPoint. And we have great neurologists who are also good communicators of that information. And a quick word, I used to like ice cream until I took Premapexol, I don't know, Mirapex is what I called it. And then I really liked ice cream and would sit in a Target parking lot and eat a pint of it because I didn't want my wife to know that I was eating so much ice cream. And I told my neurologist about this, and she said, let's lower your dose of Mirapex. So we all have our ways of learning about it. Okay, next up, a couple faces that you might recognize. Jessica and Brian have a podcast called The Secret Life of Parkinson's, and they've been streaming it for 3 years all over the world. If you didn't know, they have 10,000 subscribers. It's fantastic. And they found a niche, I think, where patients want to hear from other patients. So you're learning about things not just from a neurologist, but from other patients. So both of them are living with Parkinson's. Jess has had it for 6 years, Brian for 10 years. Please welcome them and let them talk about their podcast. Here we go.
Test. Well, can you hear me? Just like, unlike Derek, I did not make varsity basketball, so, and I'm vertically challenged too. So, yeah.
Not everybody needs to play basketball.
Oh, thanks.
Can you hear him?
Is it a little low? Is that better?
Or is it your voice is a little low?
No, my voice is perfect.
Okay, yeah. So you guys have already met me, Jessica Krauser. I'm back again. This is Brian Baker.
10 years diagnosed. I had DBS done 3 years ago. So
that's all. I just
wanted
you to say hello. So we are the hosts of The Secret Life of Parkinson's. And like I said, I already mentioned that in the beginning. So hopefully you guys get a chance to check out the podcast. You can watch us on YouTube, or you can just listen to us on any place where you stream your podcast. Do you need to be closer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The producer is telling me to move this way.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we're actually going to talk about a little bit about your future and in the podcast. We're going to do it in a little bit of a podcast way, but one of the things that if you received a kit, and if you did not, make sure you get one. I have a couple in the back room, in the back of the room for you. But 4 or 5 years ago, my friends and I started a nonprofit it's called the 5K for JK, but we're updating the name to Changing Parkinson's. And we're doing that because everything that we want to do is change the way people live with Parkinson's, change the way people think about Parkinson's. Because just like I mentioned earlier to you guys, you have to change the way you think about it in order to accept where you're going to go. We had a guy on one of our podcasts before. Remember, he said, he actually said something really good about if you fight it, if you try and say, I'm going to live exactly the same way, you're going to be not in the best spot. You have to know, you have to adjust something in your life.
Live within Parkinson's.
Yeah, and it's not giving in to Parkinson's. It's changing with it, right? How would you explain that? Talking to this one, I think this one would be better.
I don't know. I think I took that and said, live within Parkinson's. You know, maybe you won't be able to go out until 2 a.m. with your friends anymore. Maybe you only make it to midnight. Me? No, I can make it to 9. I'm lucky. Adapting your life to Parkinson's versus trying to fight it and continue. We all continue to live, but it's just adapting your life to the new way.
So one of the things that we always hear, or I think I thought about in the beginning, is when I was first diagnosed, literally I went home thinking, am I going to be in a wheelchair by the end of this year? And I was 37. Wasn't that, like, we hear that a lot. And the thing is, we have to understand is we don't progress overnight. I know Dr. Patel just said that, and he shared a lot of really good information, but you don't progress overnight. You can still travel, you just have to adapt. One of the things that I had to adapt, and I'm gonna call out my mom because she's in the room, we're doers, we're goers. So when I first told her I'm taking a nap, she's like, what? We don't nap. We don't nap during the day. You have to nap. Our bodies, whether you can't see mine necessarily because I have what they call like almost like an internal tremor, but I'm moving 12 to 14 hours out of the day. The only time I don't move is when I'm sleeping because my brain shuts down. But then I wake up in the middle of the night, probably like half of you do. Do you nap?
I've always been a napper, but I went from 20-minute power naps to 2-hour naps. If I close my eyes, man, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And it's okay.
It is?
Yes, it is. But you have to tell what?
Tell my boss it's okay.
But you have to tell yourself things like that are okay. So it's the acceptance of different things like that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fluctuation. So Brian and I talk about this all the time. Dr. Patel was just saying, you know, when you go like this, a lot of you in this room might have no idea what that means yet. I don't think I knew that for the first 3 years when people would say, well, are you on or are you in your off time? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know I'm taking my medication.
What is an off period?
Yeah, so I actually saw a segment with Jimmy Choi. If you don't know who he is, you'll find out because he's all over Parkinson stuff. But he's had Parkinson's for about 20 years, and he does the American Ninja Warrior now. But he did a quick video, and I thought it was great. So I want to show you real quick, and you can probably demonstrate too. But when you do get to a point where you're, I probably shouldn't do that because of the video. When you do get to a point where you are further into the disease or have taken enough medication, there are going to be times where when you are off or like in the morning, like this morning, I was walking down this hallway and I was like this. And literally like a half hour later, because my meds kicked in, I was like, walking like, and that is how much the medication, carbidopa-levodopa, can help me. Later on today, I'm going to be very dyskinetic because I'll have a lot of carbidopa-levodopa in my system and I'll be moving. But like you said, I'm okay with it, but I was overly dyskinetic. And if you get that way and you don't like it, talk to your doctor and you pull back. So just because you start on something, that's the other thing. What we didn't realize is how often you will change medications. So don't think you're one and done. I changed in the beginning, I think every 3 to 6 months to get it right. And then the disease progresses just a little bit, so then I changed again. Do you want to talk about like your changes with meds and DBS? What?
No. I guess, no, there's a couple other things I think are more important. Anybody here, I mean, the first 2 years I was diagnosed probably, every thought was Parkinson's. How's it going to affect me? How's it going to affect my family? How's it going to affect my son? I'm a single dad. How's it going to, can I do this? And then just one day, and I don't understand why, I woke up like, I'm not living today because I'm so worried about tomorrow or what the future holds. And then I started living today. And just like that, in a snap of a finger, it just went away. So if you're consumed with it, it's normal. I think Jess and I both have addressed that before. You'll have friends. I had my friend's dad. I was helping him move right after I got diagnosed. And somehow we got brought up, and he's like, looks at me and goes, what do you got, good another 10 years in you? I went, ooh, I guess I didn't think about that. So your friends, people that are not informed about this disease, are going to say things. They don't know what they're talking about. 10 years ago. I think I'm doing okay so far. We've got a couple months left before it's officially 10 years, but yeah. When I first got diagnosed, and I've kept this in my head the whole time, it was by Dr. Hinkle, and he said, Brian, you can go home and curl up in a ball on the couch. 20 years from now, you're going to know why you didn't live your life, or you go live your life. And that's just stuck there. every time I want to feel sorry for myself, like, no, I gotta live your life. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I've got a life to live. So,
Along with that is what was the iceberg example that Dr. Patel talked about. I didn't realize that my earlier symptoms were, like my first symptom that I saw was my tremor, and that's not even that bad anymore. But my earlier symptom was more apathy. And then I don't even call it depression or anxiety, but because when I think of depressed people, I think of something else, but it was a version, I guess, of that. But it was very apathetic. I just didn't care about a lot of stuff. So it's acknowledging those things, and again, just recognizing that they're there, they're present. Talk to your doctor about it so that they know that that's there as well. The other thing, going to what Brian was saying, is just, it's one, be prepared when you talk about Parkinson's, if you're open about it with people. I suggest and recommend talking about it with people, just because once you open that door up, they probably already know something's going on. So just open up that door, let them in, and if they have questions, see if what you can answer, or you can educate them. So that's why I bring it up with anybody I possibly can. I always get initially oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I still have a full-time job. I have, twin teenagers and married. We still do everything that we've always, that we want to do. But you are going to get I know somebody who had that and it was a horrible experience. But I like to tell people, this is not your grandfather's Parkinson's. We know a lot more now. We know to exercise. Again, that is so critical. The other thing is we're educating each other, and we're doing that because you only see your doctor so often. So going back to talking about the medication, I didn't know for like the first year or so. I thought when she said 3 times a day, I thought breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because I was like, well, and they might say that, but again, I was 37. I had 9-year-olds at that time. We ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner was whenever it was available. And she probably didn't think about that. So then when I told her, I just don't think the medicine's working, or it feels whatever. She's like, well, when are you taking it? And I told her, and she's like, no, you have to take it at like 7, 11, and 7. I was like, oh. She's like, literally the same time every day. Now I take it 5 times a day, so I set an alarm and make those adjustments. But that is super important. And then going to the dopamine agonist. We've all had dopamine agonist experiences. So again, just be very mindful if you do get on a dopamine agonist, the Ropinirole, the Pramipexole, or whatever. I was addicted to working. So who wants to be addicted to work? That was not fun for my family. I'd literally, when you're staying up all night long and you're making excuses like, oh, it's because of this, it's because of this, and I'm literally sitting in my office working, you were sitting in the parking lot eating ice cream and saying, I'm not gonna tell my wife, that's when you know, okay, I need to tell my doctor and lower that medication. So that's super important. Go ahead.
One thing that I recently found out is how important it is to have somebody go to the neurologist with you. I've had for 9.5 years gone by myself. Oh, I'm fine. Oh yeah, this is that. Jessica went with me with a friend of mine.
That was
the last one, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, great," and just went, "Eh," and he's like, "His speech is off. He's doing this, and that." They're gonna, as a care partner, speak up for the patient and say, "No, it's not okay." I thought my voice was okay. I thought my walk was okay. And they're like, no, it's not, Brian. You're not seeing what we're seeing. And I was like, ooh. So a friend, anybody, a gym member, if you don't have somebody else to go with you that sees you work out, that talks to you, just, hey, hey, I got an appointment, Thursday. Any chance you'd be able to go with me just to have that outside person looking in. And like I said, and as the care partner, don't let them get away with just saying, hey, it's fine, I'm fine. No, I don't have this, or no, I'm not doing that. So.
And people do that, I think, one, because they don't want to give in to the progression. They don't want to give in to the disease. But if you want to help yourself, that's what these medications and the exercise and the different therapies. There's voice therapy, there's art therapy, there's physical therapy, there's mental therapy, there's so many resources, it's just about finding it. But you have to be open with your caregiver and your doctor for your care team, and tell them anything. Constipation, if you have it, it's connected. If you have a shoulder issue and you think you have pain right now, or if you think it's your back, and everybody wants to say, even some of my friends are like, oh yeah, it's old age. I'm like, no, because none of you have this problem, but all my Parkinson's friends has this problem. And Dr. Hinkle's probably going to yell at me because he's going to say, not everything's connected to PD. But a lot of the things that we do, like that you might not think about, just tell your doctor and see, because there could be something that can help with that. So with that, I think it's 10:25. You're up, right? Oh, you're up first. Sorry. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Check us out on the Secret Life of Parkinson's podcast. And, if you want to come back by to the gym at PD Next Steps, we're hopefully there usually. Thank you so much.